I am DM Zone. This is Gamers Oasis. Let's get into it. All right, guys, I'm trying something a little different staying up on this one. Tell me what you guys think down below. All right, so I'm going to talk about Clairaudience in this spell video. And this is in the realm of the remote viewing I've already done with many of the other spells for original Dungeons and Dragons. And we're going to see how it's a little bit different than the ESP and the Clairvoyance and the magic item called Crystal Ball. So like the other ones, this can be used in conjunction with the Crystal Ball, but it's really the one that was designed to work with it. The Crystal Ball kind of does the Clairvoyance, allows you to see what's going on. The Clairaudience is the one that allows you to hear what's going on while you're doing it. There are other divination-like spells, I think, that are very important to go along with that. For example, ESP allows you to detect enemies that are close to you or around you. Through a crystal ball, they could be doing the same type of thing. Detect magic. Detect enemy, like the first level cone could literally do that. All these things can be done through the crystal ball as a magic item. So let's dive into this just a little bit. I think that personally, the referee at minimum needs to know what's going on. How does this interact? How does this work? What's going on in the world? How does this interact? The players can learn how that happens, but the referee needs to have all this solid before this actually becomes a thing. Otherwise, you're going to be flip-flopping, changing what you're doing, trying to retcon things back, this type of stuff. There are also several things that you need to take into consideration. Like, does 2 feet of stone stop it? Does a layer of thin lead stop it like it stops other things? If it is bouncing off of a wall that's coming from a weird angle because the wall is more than 2 feet thick in front of you made of stone, but there's no top, do you still hear that? Does it sound weird? How does that change your perspective of directionality? These type of things. I think I still would leave the 60 feet or 6 inches on the gaming table, the sand table, as it was with the original. I think I still would leave it at 12 turns and those type of things. I probably would leave many of the way the spell works in these other spells the same, and I still would allow it to be cast through the crystal ball. I think there are some interesting situations you can find yourself when you're using Clairaudience versus Clairvoyance. So knowing the names of something would probably help you in Clairaudience as it does in Clairvoyance. But you're going to find yourself in some interesting situations where you're not seeing what's going on, but you can hear it. So if you're using the spell ESP in conjunction that allows you to sense when there are enemies around you, then you're going to literally know that you're in a room with like 2 enemies from this direction and 1 enemy from that direction, and then be able to hear them talking. If you hear a 4th voice, maybe that person's not an enemy. Now that's interesting. I also think having the questions answered through like a spell like Magic Mouth is kind of funny too, and I think it would make for a very interesting and fun gameplay. Especially if you're watching combat and you're kind of rooting on from a distance them to fail or win, these type of things. I think this type of stuff makes it very interesting in the long run. And I think that it makes this spell kind of stand out from the other spells differently. Anyways, guys, did I get this one right? Did I get this one wrong? Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Thank you. Have a great day and keep rolling those dice. Bye.